I worked for a life insurance IMO the last 2 years and my life is now completely ruined. I recently got evicted from my apartment. I've been living out of my car for the past 3 months. I am currently in $30,000 worth of credit card debt. I'm going to file for bankruptcy and I'm only 24 years old. I have proof for everything that I'm saying and going to say. This is purely just a personal story of what I have gone through during the time I've spent working with this life insurance company. I want to emphasize I do not endorse any defamatory comments. This is simply just a personal experience I've had and I hold the right of freedom of speech. I make this video for the sole purpose of warning people what could potentially happen to you if you decide to put your trust in people or IMOs that do not have your best interest, but rather their own. Consider this part of your research, which I desperately wish I had done. This is a company that strongly encourages you to buy their leads and sell one specific life insurance carrier above all others, even though it was among the most expensive and made no sense. So assuming this was a legit company, I trusted them and did. They seem to be like a very professional, legit company with professional production and advertising and online training, all that. I made sales consistently. My upline would tell me I'm doing great, shout me out on social media and send me encouraging texts. But because of trying to pay off the debt I racked up from being what I felt scammed into buying junk leads, I was having such unbearable stress of not being able to pay my bills, going to bed hungry, my hair was falling out, collection calls, receiving mail from my apartment telling me I'm late on rent, and too many nights of laying in bed wishing I could end it all. I'm not over exaggerating, and I hope my upline is happy with my overrides. I worked this job full-time hours while spending the rest of my waking hours doing DoorDash, and I was making sales almost daily, but for some reason was I still in this position. I know I'm not the only one that this has happened to. I've talked to a lot of people that have gone through the same situation. I'm not just some flimsy life insurance salesman. I was above average. You'd be impressed hearing me on the phone. Now let's look at some numbers because I know that's what you guys want. So here's the results from my damaging consistency. In April of 2021, I started this business at age 22. Here's my total deposits from the insurance companies. It was $32,833.25 for the first 9 months from multiple carriers, but mostly that one specific carrier I was told to sell before all others, even though it was the most expensive. But overall, not bad, right? I sold a good amount of insurance as a beginner. I actually remember going to a business overview conference in Uncasville, Connecticut, and the spokesperson of said specific life insurance carrier told a room of about 100 people, and I quote, "If you do not sell us first, shame on you." Today I've acquired over $40,000 in total chargebacks with that one specific carrier I was told to sell. So I had $32,833 deposited, but I wrote way more trying to pay off chargebacks. Chargebacks were limited among the other carriers I was contracted with. I'm a broker. Now here's how much money I spent on the leads they told me to buy from their CRM lead machine. This was in the year of 2021 on. I was told to purchase instant internet leads from my upline and the company's training videos, 1-month-olds and 3-month-olds. My upline and the company told me to buy these leads with my credit card. And naturally, if a company brings you on and knows what they're doing, I'm gonna trust them, right? So I did. I gave this lead company $24,137.88 for their leads in the year of 2021. I spent $7,406.67 in mostly gas as well as other various business expenses because I was doing in-home sales, which shows you how hard I was working. So that means I made a total of $1,288.70 profit for working full-time for 9 months. You can start to see where the credit card debt begins. Mind you, I did not have credit issues prior to starting with this company. I paid my bills barely from doing DoorDash the remaining hours of my days and using my credit cards. Now, before you go crazy in the comments, I was in denial for a long time too. I too would tell myself, I'm gonna figure this out. It's gonna work. Other people are successful here. Just buy more leads, make more dials. For 2 years of wasted time, money, and emotional toll on my mental health. Unfortunately, I have too much grit and hope. I worked hard and invested money. I put in the activity and made sales, but it was never, ever enough. I understand this is a business, but people that bring you on will train you to line their own pockets and could care less about what happens to you. These leads were promised to be exclusive, but it turned out to be years old, not exclusive, and resold to a dozen people. Basically, every person I got on the phone with told me they get nonstop calls daily. They were deceased. They had sold their house years ago, wrong number, or they already bought insurance. I was only able to sell enough insurance just to stay caught up with chargebacks and break even with my lead spend, obviously from the numbers I talked about earlier. What, am I not allowed to post my real numbers, corporate? If you say that, you're a bunch of hypocrites. Pretty sure you got in some legal trouble for that. I think it's inconsiderate and greedy for someone to hire a 22-year-old impressionable kid into this business, not explaining taxes or being authentic and clear of what may or may not happen. I personally believe there should be a serious crackdown on laws around the sale of leads because I think vulnerable people are completely taken advantage of. I want to make clear this is my opinion. And for corporate watching this video, do you even care? It almost feels like this company has no remorse or sympathy whatsoever for bringing on and selling leads to a young impressionable people like myself. Again, this is my personal opinion and I'm not stating this to be factual, just my personal opinion. My journey continues, but I don't want to make a 20-minute video. I was eventually able to sift through all the lies and stop selling this specific carrier, and I figured out a great system generating my own leads, but at that point it was just too late. I was too deep in the hole, falling for their what I believe to be scams, lead scams, what I believe to be, in my opinion, and selling that company too much. It was a joke. For God's sakes, do loads and loads of research before you accidentally ruin your life like I did.